everybody, welcome back to another video. We are finally back on Project Flight today, joined with our recording instructor, and today we're going to be doing a little tutorial on how to fly and do stuff in Project Flight from both the desktop view and also from mobile point of view. So I'm on desktop and he is on mobile, so he'll be saying what to do for mobile and I will do the PC version of that. So before we get started, first of all we have to select our stuff. So if we go back to the main menu here, firstly you're going to be met with this. So firstly you want to go to fly now, click free flight, or press if you're on mobile. Then you got a wide variety of planes. Now I've got quite a few of the Game Passes, but for this we are not going to use a Game Pass aircraft. I'm going to go with the Airbus A220 for this. And once you've selected your plane, you will want to go ahead and select a livery. For this, I'm going to use Delta, just as an example. Then click confirm. And then you want to go to an airport. So we're going to go to Gran Canaria. So then you want to select your airport, then you want to select your gate. So select your gate and then click confirm. Then once you've spawned in, first of all, you are going to want to turn your lights on. You can on PC, you do it with L. I don't actually remember what it is, like where it is and what it is for mobile.
You just press.
Yeah, so I think there's like a column where you scroll and then there's the light button, I think. Something like that. Then you want to turn your engines on. I believe again, just like with the lights, it's the
For mobile,
engine
you press.
button. Yeah, but for PC, you can either click on the engine here. So I'll go ahead and do that for one of the engines, but then the other one, I'm going to go ahead and use E. There you go. So you can either click or press E. But for mobile, you can, I believe it's just pressing those buttons down here to turn them on. And once you've started your engines, you're going to want to push back. And there's our friend over there, ChanX9752. So you're going to want to push back. Now there should be a pushback button on mobile, but PC you press P. And to go into the control PC it's A, but for mobile it's literally just a joystick. And you're going to want to push back until you get to the taxiway. It's arguably, I would say, a bit easier at night time to taxi because the lights are there. So you're going to want to just push back. When your rear wheels, get to where, like, about here, you want to start your turn. And then you want to taxi, and then you want to press your brakes, which on PC is B. And then there's a brake slider above your throttle. For mobile. And then you want to turn your pushback thrust off. Then you want to either, for mobile, use this slider here to do your throttle, or you can use W on your PC. But for a bit extra for it, you can, on PC, do shift to go slower, like that. The throttle will move slower. And then, once you've done that, you can start your taxi out to the runway. And yeah, and then once you're at the runway, you can then do what I do when we get to the runway. Right, so we've got a Wizz Air trying to land. So we have to wait. So if there's another plane on approach to the runway, you want to wait for them to land and get out of your way. And then you can get on the runway. Doing this is called holding short. And if there's another plane or ATC has told you to, you want to hold short. And then taxi onto the runway. Then you want to line up with the center line. This is very important so you don't go skidding off the runway. Then, depending on the runway size and your aircraft size, you can apply the brakes and you can do what's called a run up. Put your throttle to that and then down again. And then you want to do your flaps. You can either use like a flap selector or slider, like this, or click F. On mobile, there is the flap button thing. Set it to takeoff, and then if you aren't in the control mode, do that now. And then you want to check over your controls. So basically do what I'm doing right now. Same with your rudder, which is for PC, Z, and X. For mobile, I believe there is a rudder slider, or like the pedals or something. Then you want to put your throttle to takeoff thrust, which is, depending on the aircraft, it changes, but for the A220 here, it's 80% thrust. So if you're using the same plane as me, the A220, put your throttle to 80%. For takeoff. And
But if you're on a Boeing, you have to do max.
Yeah. And when you reach around 110 knots, this is for the A220, once you reach around 110 knots, you can start lifting off. I believe for the 737 over there, it's a little different, the speed. And then when you reach, I believe it's 165 knots, in the A220, that is. This is all for the A220, by the way. So 165, you want to put your gear up. There you go. Gear is now retracting. You do the G key, or there is a wheel button. And then once you reach, I believe it's 250 knots, 230, 250 knots for the A220, put your flaps back up. That's for the A220. Put your flaps up when you reach 230 knots. So you want to monitor your airspeed here. So when we get to 230, there you go, flaps are going up. And if you want, you can now apply max thrust. So we're going to go ahead and fly over to Gatwick, Southampton. We're going to fly over to Southampton for this, folks. So yeah. So what you want to do, if you're going from Gran Canaria, the same route we're doing here, you want to turn out towards the UK, and then you'll want to go over to your autopilot button, and then select your altitude that you want to do. For this instance, I'm going to go to 5400, and then also select your speed, at least in 300s, or the 400s. I'm going to go 352. There's a Ryanair 737 below us, but yeah, so we'll be back when we're on final approach. Okay, guys, so what you want to do now is turn your autopilot and auto throttle off, and you want to now start your descent, and also toggle your landing lights as well if it's dark, like now. So if it's dark, put your landing lights on, but if it is not dark, you don't need your landing lights, or foggy. And now you want to press R on PC for spoilers. I believe, like the flaps, there is a button selector for it on mobile. So you want your spoilers deployed.
You have to put your thrust or your thrust to idle.
Yes, thrust to idle as well. Depending on your current speed, if you're going the speed that I was, you want to be on idle thrust. But if you are going very slow, I recommend not.
If you're going very, very fast, you need to keep your airspeed off.
Yeah.
Idle.
And when you have your airport in sight, put your flaps to half to take off there. And then when you're on short final, then put your flaps to full. Okay, guys, so if you find yourselves in the same situation I'm in and you were stalling, apply maximum thrust and continue climbing. Because I was just checking some stuff and I started stalling. And I was like 50 feet from death. My passengers probably have died. But
Never
yeah,
do that.
if you find yourself in that situation, apply maximum thrust and climb the heck out of there. Or else you're gonna end up like Air France 447. But anyway, I can see the airport. So that means flaps down. And then when you're very close on like final approach, put your gear down and your flaps to full, aka landing. Like that. But we're gonna keep them for takeoff for now.
I'm almost to the Bellboy.
Which airport are you landing at?
Southampton.
Okay, same. So yeah. Right, so now I'm gonna put my flaps to full. And then we're coming in on a dog leg at the moment. But I'm gonna put my gear down. So you do that with G just like you did earlier to put it up. And you should get an extra light there as well, yeah. You get your taxi light there. And if you're coming in at a dog leg, just like me, you want to aggressively turn, well, maybe not aggressively, but you want to turn and line up with the runway. But
Not lined up with the runway on the mobile, just a bit harder.
yeah, and if you're coming into Southampton, I recommend you land coming in from the sea. You come in from the sea, I recommend you do that. Because, you know, if you overshoot, you're just going to go in the grass instead of plunging into the sea. So if you're coming into Southampton here, you want to come in from the ocean. But with that said, you want to now select this camera. So on PC, you do that by using 7. But if you're on mobile, I believe there is like a camera button and you can select it that way. But this will enhance your landing capabilities and make it to where you will be able to do some pretty butter landings. So let's have a look here. So if you want, you can flare. There you go, good landing. And once you've touched down, get back into this camera, apply your brakes, and then you want to also do your reverse thrusters if needed. I'm only doing them because to show you guys, but I don't believe I would need them. Stop here. And once you've touched down at a runway like what I'm at, where there's no taxiway at the end, they should have a little, like this, a little side area for you to turn around in, and then you just taxi along the runway to one of the taxiways. Okay, guys, so when you have arrived at the taxiway, you want to go find a gate. And once you find a gate, you want to go park up at your chosen gate. So we're going to go find a gate just here, like this one. And you want to get lined up on the centre line for the gate, the taxiway there. And then park up, put your brakes on, and then your throttle down there. And then once you've done that, you then want to put your flaps all the way up, and same with your spoilers. Then turn your lights off. There should be a few lights, like that, are still there, which should be fine. It's not a big issue for you guys. And then you want to shut your engines off. And there you have it. You have successfully.
It's hard for mobile.
Yeah. But there you have it, guys. You have now completed a Project Flight flight. Well done! So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell button to all notifications to be notified when my latest video comes out. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. As always, stay awesome. Goodbye!